Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I am sitting here today to talk to you guys about something that's really important in our community. It has to do with Black-owned businesses, in general, I believe that supporting Black-owned businesses is one of the most critical things we can do as a people. If you read my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, you'll know that the second commandment is to buy Black whenever possible. And I explained to you exactly why that is true. And so I'm going to bring some different guests in today, some students from the Black Business School, and we're going to kind of talk about Black-owned businesses and also talk about their businesses. And as you all come in, please hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And I see Anita Shelton is backstage as well. And we also have Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. So first, I'd like to ask Dr. Davis, Dr. Walker Davis, how are you doing today?
Excellent. Fantastic. Great day, Dr. Boyce.
Good, good. And Anita, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I sure can. I sure can. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
Doing very well, very well. Okay, so you know what? We were sitting there. We were talking in the president's circle in kind of a private group that was kind of an extension from the All Black National Convention. And as we were talking, I was so fascinated with what you do in your businesses that I said, why don't we just go live and talk about our businesses, but also talk about just that general idea of supporting Black-owned businesses and what it's like to be a Black business owner. And so I just really diving in. I didn't even have any specific set of questions I was going to ask, but I'm going to dive right in and talk to you, Miss Anita. Can you tell me the name of your business and what your business does?
Yes, my business is called Angel Wakana, and basically we're a health and wellness business. Right now, we're really focusing on our 21-day cleanse because this is the new year, and that's always the New Year's resolution is to lose weight. So not only do we want to lose weight, we want to lose waste, because we want to make sure that we're cleansing our bodies on the cellular level and making sure that we're heading off diseases before they start. When you get to the hospital and they run tests, you're already in the red zone. What we're trying to do is look at you in the yellow and blue zone and see, you might have a few issues here, but let's look at stopping these issues before they become a problem.
Well, you know what? I now I remember. You were part of the group doing the health scans, right, at the convention.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, we were
Yeah.
doing complimentary bioscans. And when you look at your bioscan, you kind of look where your health, it's kind of like a health report card. And it's a report card that we want to give to you before you get to the D's and the F's. So we want to make sure that you see where you're having issues in your health. And basically, we live in a toxic world. The air we breathe, the foods that we eat, the waters that we drink, we have toxicity in our bodies, and we need to cleanse that toxicity, because often, even when you take vitamins and you're doing things like that, those vitamins are going right through you because they're passing through a toxic body. So we want to cleanse the body first before we then start adding in and flooding in the good nutrients.
Okay, that's very nice. I like that. And so, Dr. Michelle Walker Davis, tell us about your business and what do you do?
Thank you, Dr. Boyce Watkins. So I own Imperial Management Group, and we're a grant development firm. And during COVID, we found out that there's $850 billion available every year for grants and $7 trillion available for government contracts. But we're only getting 1% of the contracts and less than 4% of the government grants. So I am in this space to lessen the wealth gap between Black-owned businesses and white-owned businesses. Since I've identified those two significant areas, I know without a shadow of a doubt that if we close that gap, we will see our businesses flourish and our families and communities to flourish as well.
Okay. So these are both very important needs in the community. One, the need to raise money, which is always important, and then the need to stay healthy. We talk about how health is wealth, and actually, Angela, or sorry, Anita. I'm sorry, Anita. I think my wife got one of your body scans, and she also is on the detox. What's the doctor's
Yes.
name that you work with again?
Dr. Eric Prince, he is who
Dr. Eric Prince.
developed this 21-day detox, and he was there speaking at the All Black National Convention, and
Okay.
so and he's excellent. Oh my goodness, he's a guru. He had everyone. I mean,
Mhm.
just everyone was listening and hanging on to his every word. And, you know, I've been talking to your people, so we want him to be a main stage speaker along with Dr. Parks next year. He has some excellent information to share. And I'm actually studying under him. I'm going to be a health and wellness coach, and then I'm going to be a master coach. So we really are focusing on health, because what is wealth without good health? And it's very important. And that's part of the reason why the bioscans are complimentary, because we want you to get the information. Sure, we have products to sell. We have plenty of products to sell. But the important thing is that you have good health and that you know your trajectory right now. You know kind of where you are. You know where you need to, you know, make some changes in your lifestyle and in your diet. And I'm keeping up with Dr. Alicia. I know she's going to do well with her cleanse.
Yeah, well,
And we're going to get you on the next time we get to Chicago. We need to get you bioscan. You're our leader. We got to make sure we keep you healthy as well.
well, you know what? That I have to keep my skin. It's privileged information. I don't know what I might find if I do that. But I love it though. I saw I saw you all set up, and I was super impressed with that.
Thank you.
And also I guess I'm gonna go back to you, Dr. Walker Davis. So what would you say that most of your life you've been an entrepreneur, or did you kind of make that decision later after like another life, and you kind of adjusted out in that direction?
Great question. Well, I am a third generation entrepreneur, but I did not start out that way. You know, I started out from Syracuse University, a dual master's degree. I went to work for the federal government. I was the highest paid Black female at the General Accounting Office. I rose from a GS9 to a GS14 in 5 years, broke all records, and it wasn't easy, trust me. But I was serious about representing our people even then. But I'll let you know a little secret. I was so bored at that job, I would go into the bathroom and dance. I sing and dance in the bathroom because I was so bored. So the entrepreneur in me was waiting to come out. And so when they closed our office, it was a great time, my husband said, for me to go out there and do the things that I always wanted to do. And so I started out renovating homes. I was doing a 203K program in real estate, using the knowledge I had gained through doing audits and evaluations of HUD and all the different programs out there. And I became number 3 in the state of New Jersey for flipping houses through the 203K program. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So was it almost like you discovered this greatness that you had that you didn't know was there? Maybe if you'd known how good you'd be at what you do now, you never would have had the job where you were dancing in the bathroom.
I never looked at it that way. I think that I decided at a very early age that I did not like to clean house and do chores. I wanted someone else to do those things. And so my mother would wake my sister and I up every Saturday morning to do chores, and my brothers could sleep in. And then when they did wake up, they got to do chores outside, and we had to do chores inside. I wanted to be outside. You know, and I think that within my spirit, something rose up, and I say I became a feminist as a result of that, you know, but really I was just being me, you know, God just put it in me. And so all my life I've been that unicorn, but now I have the opportunity. I'm so blessed. I have the opportunity to use everything in my business to help our communities. And I'll tell you, Dr. Anita, I also was the health planner for Burlington County, New Jersey. I served as the health planner for public health, responsible for the quality of life of 400,000 residents. And so a lot of what you're telling us, I'm right there with you. we were on the top of every disease back in 2007 when I was the health planner. Black people are off the chart. The top 10 diseases, we're number one in those areas. And to this day, those statistics have not changed. 20 years later, they haven't changed, right? We're still the highest on everything: diabetes, cancer, whatever it is, we're right there, right? So the food chain is killing us. And what I like about the bioscans, because we stayed, my whole family was there. I brought my husband and my 2 daughters, so half of the family was there. But we stayed in line so that we could go through the bioscans. And then we sat with Dr. Eric so he could break it down for us. But what I really liked, it was not about medicine. Medicine just manages the disease. It doesn't cure you. So those bioscans and that education give you the opportunity to find a more holistic way of living. And starting with the detox, let's get rid of all those things that are killing us, right? And then let's put better things in our bodies. Not one person advocated for medication or pills. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I really like that. I think that is indicative of the mindset of a successful business owner. Is a lot of it comes down to finding a problem and providing a good solution to that problem. And it sounds to me that a couple of problems I've identified just from listening to you, Michelle and Anita, is that one, Black folks aren't getting access to the grant money, and you, Dr. Walker Davis, are helping us do that. And then the health issue, just you're right. Everything's got a pill attached to it, and our people are dying the fastest. And in fact, I'd ask everybody in the chat, give me a yes if somebody in your family has been hit by cancer or diabetes or heart disease. I mean, it's just everywhere, and we get to the point where it seems like we just assume that that's going to occur. That okay, we're going to live our best life until we hit maybe 40s, 50s, or 60s, and then all the ailments start piling on, and then we go to this doctor who gives us a bunch of pills and they make us sicker, really, or some chemo, so they can milk us for our money, keep us alive long enough just to get all of our money, and then you die broke. And we think that is the life we're supposed to have. And I applaud the fact that you're solving that problem. I think that's absolutely wonderful. Now, I'm going to bring in another guest in from the Black Business School, Jermaine. Jermaine, how you doing, brother? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Yeah, so Jermaine, what's your last name, sir?
Last name is Shivers, S-H-I-V as in Victor, E-R-S.
Jermaine Shivers. Okay, Jermaine. And what is your business, Jermaine Shivers?
So my business is Gold Line.
Gold Mines.
Gold Line. Gold football. So football, the gold line. You got to get past.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yeah. Tell us about that. I was really intrigued by that because I saw you at the convention. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Shivers.
Yes, sir. So where would you like for me to start?
Tell me about Gold Mine. You said it mixes. I mean, it's especially interesting because last night I just saw a public assault by the Georgia Bulldogs on the on TCU. Any football fans in the building would know what I'm talking about. I think TCU need to file a police report because that game was just the worst game I've seen on TV in a long time. So your game actually mixes football with chess, which would have been perfect for me as a little boy because I like both of them. Tell us about Gold Mine.
So Gold Line, once again, is it's a combination. So it's interesting, right? Because Gary Morgan made the traffic lights, right? So what he did was at a particular time, he took 3 things that already exist and he made them into one. But the most important thing was it was the timing, right? Because intersections was clashing, horse buggies and cars, was clashing. So it was all for its time, So the same feeling is towards this game right here is for its time. If you look at chess is a game that's been around since ancient times, but modernized and haven't been revised, haven't been strengthened, right? You take gaming and Monopoly, they dealing with $500. Right now, $500 is nothing for a teenager. Right now, we meet teenagers as millionaires, right? I was born in the 70s. That was unheard of, right? So if you ask the fifth grader how to spell 250,000, third grader, fourth grader, especially in our urban communities, a lot of them can't spell it, don't recognize the numbers, the digits, right? How many it take, what it takes to escalate to $1 million, how to maintain that subconsciously, psychologically, right? You know, it's just a dream. So my game actually bring a lot of what children and adults I found out in test marketing are missing out on. And it's a brain game that speeds up the game of chess and Monopoly and bring the dollar amount from $100 to millions of dollars. So basically, that's what it's all about. It's a brain game, and it's also a financial literacy game at the same time, when you actually can be the team owner or you can be partners of a team and own this team. Entrepreneurship.
Wow. Well, I love that. Okay, so we're teaching ownership and economic power, and teaching young people how to play the game at the top, as opposed to just being a pawn in the game, which is unfortunately what happens to so many of us as Black people. And so everybody, in case you just came in, I'm speaking with 3 Black business owners who are a part of the Black Business School, and they've become friends of mine, and they all are running strong Black businesses that everybody should know about. And what I'm going to also do is make sure if everybody in here, Anita and Michelle and Jermaine, can have some information available so people can get in touch with you, then I'll make sure I share that information momentarily. And so everybody who's watching, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. So okay, so let me ask you this. Let me go back to you, Anita. So what was it? Did you ever have a time? Now Michelle talked about how she had the job that was so boring that she had to go dance in the bathroom, and that reminds me of the first job I ever had. I worked for when I was on the plantation. I got this dream job. I used to think about, use terms like dream job back in the day when I didn't realize that, dreaming about labor, that there are better dreams to have than to just dream about, working for somebody else all day. And when I got this dream job, I was making a lot of money and I was bored to death. I would fall asleep at the desk and I would go hide in the bathroom too. I wasn't dancing in the bathroom, but I would walk around. I remember walking around the GE factory floor because I didn't know what I was doing. I was bored. Whenever I got bored, I would get lost. That was I actually, believe it or not, Jermaine, when I played football, that's why I couldn't play organized football as a kid, because I had ADHD, I believe. I probably still got it. Just I learned to live with it. But I would go to football practice, and when the coach was telling us the plays, my mind would be over here and over there, and so I was the backup running back, and because I was pretty fast, but I just didn't know what I was doing. So I went. So the coach said, "Okay, boys, go in the game, and I want you to. We're gonna run a 44 blast." And I'm thinking, "What's a 44 blast?" So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna try to wing it. So I line up behind the quarterback, and the quarterback said, "Hut," and I ran to the right, and the whole team went left. My coach said, "Get out of this game." So if you don't love what you do, here's my point, Anita. I'm gonna go back to you. It seems like if you don't love what you do, you're not. I mean, I don't know about other people, but it's hard for me to be good at something I hate or good at something that bores me. And football didn't bore me. I like football.
Yeah.
But I admit, in that case, it was just the instruction and all the details that I couldn't keep up with. But then when I got the job, it didn't matter how they could have paid me $10 billion, and I
still be bored.
Yeah, have you ever had that experience, or what has your work life experience been like before you became an entrepreneur?
Well, I've been a lifelong entrepreneur. I mean, for me, I started off babysitting for the first African American to get a McDonald's franchise in Cleveland, Ohio. He was my dad's fraternity brother and Morehouse brother. So I babysat for him at 12. So I had the entrepreneurial spirit as a child. We were Girl Scouts. We did lemonade stands. So we were always kind of in the sales. So when I went to school, I was a business major. But, I think when we first met, I told you I got my BS, my Bachelor's of Science. And then I got my MRS. I got my MBA. And, I had plans to be in corporate America, but I always had that entrepreneur spirit. Then I got my MRS. divorce, I got married, and then my husband was back in the master's PhD program at Kentucky State University of Kentucky. And then I got my MOM. I had 5 children. So at that point, all my dreams kind of got put on hold while I was raising my children and putting them through school. And they're all 5 are HBCU educated and grown and gone. So now it was time for me to kind of do some things for myself. And part of this whole business is not only for me personally, but it's for others, because I found that I had to get my health back in order. I used to joke and say I was size 6 and cute before I married him and gave him 5 children. So I've got to get back to that old me. And so this is part of that, not only helping others, but helping myself in the process. So I've done one 21-day cleanse already, and I'm starting a new 21-day cleanse in a few days. I had a couple of health issues that I had to take care of first, but I'm also going to do the 21-day cleanse because I want to be a testimony to others. And so again, it's not just about losing the weight. I would love to see that size 6 again, but it's not about just losing the weight. It's also about being healthy. Often we are told, did your parents have high blood pressure? So it's the assumption that you will too. Did your parents have diabetes? So it's the assumption that you will too. We have to intentionally do things different in how we live our lives and the things that we do and the moves that we make towards our health. We have to intentionally also get our minds in order, because sometimes it's not what we're eating, but it's also what's eating at us.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
The mind, spirit connection. And so we have to cleanse everything. Part of the cleanse is not just physical, it's also mental and emotional. Because often it's the emotions that we're holding in our bodies. And those are some of the things when we have that stubborn area in our body that we can't get rid of. Sometimes that's the emotional and mental things that we have to get rid of from our past.
That's heavy. That's really heavy.
But as you talked about work, though, I've done some of everything. I've worked for the government. I've worked for insurance companies. When my husband went back to graduate school, I was working as an insurance adjuster, and I hated that job so bad. I was having nosebleeds. But he graduated on Monday. That Friday, I went into the office. I turned in all my files. I turned in my key, and I put my letter of resignation on the table because I knew he was graduating that Monday. And we left Lexington, Kentucky, and did not look back, because I did what I was supposed to do as the dutiful corporate wife. I put my husband through graduate school. Now that he's graduated, it was time for me to raise the children. So, and I've also taught when my kids were younger. I started teaching so that I could be on their same schedule. And to be honest, I love teaching. I still love teaching. We have issues right now with, there's a lot of issues. That's a whole nother conversation. In education right now, I mean, you've got first graders shooting their teacher. Come on, we've got to do better. We've got to do better. And I'm very much a proponent of we do need to educate our own children, because some of the curriculum we're seeing is just not the truth.
Yeah, well, that's one of our core values in the Black Business School, is that we should educate our own children and also create our own jobs and support Black business. I think that we, there are so many areas where we, Jermaine, I think, should take our own direction as opposed to letting other people kind of tell us where to go. And now, Jermaine, I want to ask you this. Anita was talking about spiritual healing and psychological healing, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you went through quite a bit to get to where you are. You've experienced some challenging traumas through your life and had to kind of heal past that. What's that journey been like for you? In terms of your evolution to from where you were to where you are now, and to overcome the things that you've overcome. Because I don't remember every detail of our conversation last week, but I remember that I remember thinking, wow, he really has a story.
Right. It's interesting because I was meditating on that today. I said to myself, I'm a believer in Proverbs. It's one thing when you read Proverbs, but it's another thing when you live Proverbs. And that experience, like it says in the 3rd chapter, it said, by wisdom and sell it not. But, knowledge without wisdom is not really that understanding. You have to have understanding with wisdom and knowledge to have the wisdom, right? Psalms like 36 is a new enlightenment to me. I mean, so because of that experience, I can really understand now the journey that our forefathers been on for us to be here. I heard you mention it once, and I like to say it also and repeat what you said, is that, you know, for me to be here for 12 generations, it took what, over 4,000 great grandparents for me to exist for a purpose, right? So that escalation for my development is like Harriet Tubman say, you know, suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character. Character produces what? Faith. Faith produces what? Your destiny. So it's interesting because it was unseen. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. So when she speak of health, when I heard, you know, Anita talk about health, I've been through that process. So I learned now after reading books like Dennis Kimbrough, you know, wealth choices, right? It's all about the consciousness of wealth, and it's not material. So taking you away from the material, you know, is a strong commitment sometimes you have at a young age when your imagination goes off wild. And it feels like your heart can have the world. But you find out the world is not really for your heart. You understand? Right. It is really about you developing you and bringing that enlightenment inside of you. So when you ask that, it's a very heavy question, and like I can say, it's still a journey for me, man. It really is. I still meditated on it. I still every day give just thanks that, you know, I'm here and I exist. With
I love it. Well, I'm glad you're here too. And before I even move on too far, I want to ask each of the panelists today if you could give some contact information where people can find you. Now I'll start with you, Ms. Walker Davis. So where if people want to know about your company, and for those who just got here, can you do like a brief description of the business, and then also how they can get in touch with you? Fire away.
Okay, so we are a grant development firm. We went from being grant writers to a grant development firm because our people needed to go through the development process. When I started going on the various platforms and talking to everyone about this grant money, the reality is when they started reaching out to my company and we reviewed them and did an assessment of their business, they weren't qualified. They could not meet the criteria. So we spend a great portion of our work helping them to prepare to meet the requirements. Writing the grant is not the difficult part. Meeting those requirements, and a lot of that starts before you even begin working on the application. It's about the totality of your work. What have you done in your business? Who have you impacted? How many widgets have you sold? Who is in your partnership? Who do you collaborate with? How far is your reach? Is it a local reach? Is it a nationwide reach? Is it statewide? You know, all these things you have to know about your business and be able to pitch it in such a way that they feel that they're going to get a great return on their investment. So the money is free. This money is free. $850 billion available every year, right? But it does come with requirements. And what they're doing, they want you to be an extension of them. So the charitable foundations, they're giving out money so that you can help heal your communities. The government, they're giving out money so that small businesses can stay afloat. I mean, billions of dollars available right now to help your business, but you have to access those funds. So what I'm going to do, Dr. Boyce Watkins, is I was going to change my title and put my website on there so they would know how to go out and reach us, because the website is imgconsulting.info. So it's imgconsulting.info. But I'm going to change my title and put my website on there because that's more important.
Yeah, and if you and what I'll do is I can put it on the big screen. I know Angela, you or Anita. I'm sorry, Anita. I want to say Angela because your website is Angel Wakana. Anita, you texted to me in that private chat So if you wanted to also put it in there, Ms. Walker Davis, I can also make it big on the screen so everybody can see it. Same thing for you, Jermaine. If you see the private chat, if you don't see it, you can just say it and I can type it in. So I'll go to you, Ms. Shelton. Maybe a summary of the business, and then Ms. Walker Davis, when I get your information, I'll put it up on the big screen. Oh, there we go. And it's also next to her name right there. So everybody, if you need help with grant writing, she is very, very good at what she does. You can go to her website. It's right there, imgconsulting.info. And I've worked with this young lady, and she's been amazing. And also, she's a Syracusean, which means she's pretty awesome, right? Because we're all part of that orange.
All part of the family. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So Miss Shelton, you're next, ma'am. I'm gonna put you on solo on the screen. So if we disappear, don't get nervous. I know, Michelle, you handle it like a pro. But yeah, you're going to be solo, and I'd like you to tell everybody about your business and how they can get in touch with you. And I can put your information on the screen as you speak.
Okay, again, it's angel.wakana.com, and our business number is 314-281-3781. You can go to our website at any time, and you can peruse the website for all of our health and wellness products. But again, for now, since this is the beginning of the year, and that's always a New Year's resolution, we are promoting our 21-day cleanse. We're actually having some contests about it, and that will be on our Facebook page. We're going to, our Facebook page is www.flatbellylifestyle.com. And so we're going to be doing some contests, and you'll have the opportunity to earn some things for losing weight. And so we haven't completed it, but we're going to roll that out very soon. And so again, www.angel.wakana.com. It's a health and wellness company, and we really would love for you to look at our website, learn more about what we're doing. We will be at several different conferences where we will be doing our scans. We want to scan as many people as possible. We want to develop more health and wellness coaches because we've got to get our community well. When you look in the Black community, unfortunately, you will not miss a McDonald's, a Church's, a Lee's, a liquor store, and then the next block is the dialysis. So we have to do better with our health, and we have to do better in our community. You will find liquor stores, you will find all the fast foods, but it's very unfortunate. You find food deserts. You know, do we have markets? Do we have Whole Foods? Do we have places where we can get our fruits and vegetables? And so we have to be a healthier Black America. We have to get healthy.
Ooh, you said a lot right there. I don't know if everybody else heard that, but it's real interesting that, you know, and you go to the grocery store and it's like, we'll sell you the sugary, fatty food in the front of the store and then sell you medication in the back. And it's and so this really, there are downsides to living in a free society, right? We could live in a society where they just outlaw unhealthy food. You know, I think I remember in New York, they tried to outlaw like sugary drinks and sodas or something like that, or it could only be a certain size, and people went ballistic. They said, it's my right to drink, you know, my size, whatever, right? And I guess it is everybody's right, but there's a consequence to that. And it seems like if you want that freedom to choose, then you need to be ready to deal with the consequences, or at least have the discipline to only choose things that are going to be healthy. And then there are other vices that were legalized during the pandemic. It's really interesting that during a health crisis of the pandemic, they were legalizing things that were going to create other health crises. Like a lot of people may not have noticed, but sports gambling became heavily legalized during the pandemic. And so now they advertise sports gambling at the sporting event, which was completely unheard of 20 years ago. So that you go to a baseball game and right there's a big sign saying, hey, bet on the next game. So now what's happened is they have a new epidemic, they have a new crisis, and that is young men in particular becoming gambling addicts at a very early age. And so with everybody's listening, what I'm hearing is that you really want to really understand the responsibility that comes with the power of freedom. You got the freedom to choose. You can choose to eat what you want, do what you want for the most part. Nobody's really going to judge you that much. But the downside of that is that if you're not responsible, there will be a heavy price to pay. And believe me, they're gonna make money off you going in the door and out the door.
Yeah.
So that's capitalism, black people. It is what it is. Okay, so the information's right there. And I love those body scans. I think that's great. And I love the body scan is a great way to make people aware that they can use the products that you have. And so anybody that's a business owner to take note of that. Sometimes you have to help the customer even understand that they need your product before they're willing to buy it. Okay, so and I saw you all at the convention. All of you were at the All Black National Convention. I was super impressed by everything that each of you had to say, and I've talked to each of you directly, and there were things I noticed that I was really inspired by. And so next I'm gonna bring up Mr. Jermaine. Okay, brother. So I'm gonna put you up here on the big screen, and I'll put your information up here as well. Go ahead, fire away, man. Tell us what you're all about. What you got going on?
So I like to piggyback off what you said, and I know you're a professor at this, right? It's economics, right? So I learned, if you give me, I stutter because I'm still recovering, but I learned back in high school, late high school, that economics 101 is how fast that circle go, how that cycle go, right? And that's how currency is, right? You get in a certain currency bracket and ride that wave, right? So when you're talking about markets, my game actually is ready for the gambling market. So right now would be a perfect time to really get in, for my game to get involved in that gambling market, because for the first time ever, you will see a football game that you can gamble with that's similar to roulette. Okay, take roulette to another level. 36 numbers there, 50 numbers with mine, right? I stopped there. Also, my game is be great for gambling, app gaming, right? So that is a what? $200 billion a year, $82,000 a day for the top 200, right? So board game also. So when you look at those right there, those markets, when it comes to economic development and an empowerment, and you're talking about gambling, when you have a gambling game that also is a brain game at the same time, imagine that. So you actually increasing your brain power. So you almost can be investing into your brain power development with this game. That's kind of interesting, right? My game goal line is really all about helping the brain speed up the process of development so you can be more consciously aware, focus, memory, and cognitive behavior development, right? So you can reach me at tacklesllc@gmail.com. Right now, do not have a website. I'm in product development stage at the point now where I'm ready for manufacturing and app development. So that's why I do not have a website up right now. So I'm just, I was surprised about being here. Honestly, a friend introduced me to say, man, you need to go with this game to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Dr. Boyce's All Black Conference, man. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your life, Jay. I'm telling you to go. And I said, all right, man, let me see if I can get approved for this credit card. I had a credit card in 10 years. I got approved for a credit card. I had a credit card in 10 years. Apple gave me a credit card, high APR. I said, man, I'm going to use this credit card. I'm going to go.
Wow.
So I went out on faith coming in. I ain't have a dime in my pocket, honestly. Everything towards this game. So, that's how. So I didn't expect all of this. So it's actually, I done jumped into a currency that's moving faster than where I should be at. You follow me?
Hey, let me say this, man. First of all, let me ask you a question, and then I'm gonna make a statement real quick. So you took a leap of faith. You made an investment in yourself. You bet on you. Mm-hmm. Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You sit here with us on screen, and I pause there. I stick a pin in that because so many of us miss our greatest blessing because we're too scared that of the fact that it might not go the way we hope it will, or we might not be successful, and that's a terrible way to live. And the distinguishing factor between all of you as entrepreneurs versus those of us who have the same potential but maybe didn't pursue it is that willingness to take that chance. And if I'm gonna take a chance on anything, I'm a bet on the melanin. I think that Black people, we're special. We're survivors.
That's right.
Like anybody else.
Absolutely. Come on now.
Yeah, so if anybody could go out there and make it happen and get it done, look at our ancestors who were booted off the plantation, no food, no skill, no nothing, and found a way to make it work. You know, and they were within a few years, they substantially increased their literacy rate. They were educating their own kids. They were creating towns and doing all these amazing things. And so that's what inspires me. It makes me say, okay, if they can do all of that, then I can handle this. I can deal with. So I want to say congratulations to you, Jermaine, because I understand that feeling, and I'm gonna say this too. I saw your game. I saw the prototype of your game when we were at the convention, and I'm gonna tell everybody right now that was not a sloppy prototype by any stretch of the imagination. That was a very nice. I remember holding the pieces, and you had the board, if I'm not mistaken, right? And everything was really nicely done. And I said, okay, you've got something nice here. You just got to figure out what the manufacturing process will look like. So, so I congratulate you, man. I think you really have something great. I like the way, in terms of just that elevator pitch, I like the way you come at it with, you're blending chess and football. I know black boys get that instantly. You know, a lot of black boys would be good at chess and would love chess if they were introduced to chess. I just wasn't introduced to it, but I became a mathematician, which is very chess-like thinking, very just logical. A plus B equals C, 1 plus 2 equals 3, that type of thing. And I love football. All of us love football. So there's a lot of angles there. And I think and remember, when you're pitching your business, you got about 30 to 45 seconds to let people know where you're adding value, right? And so, really focus hard, in my opinion, just my 2 cents, focus hard on that first 30 to 45 seconds. So, Michelle, you solve an important problem. We need money, right? There's $850 million in free money. I can help you get it. You know, that's awesome. Anita, health is wealth. The body scans, and that's an excellent entry point into your product. I saw you had a line that was like incredibly long. And that showed me. I said, okay, I don't know what they're doing over there, but whatever they're doing, they know how to do it. Really. And this is important. And I encourage everybody listening, pay attention to this stuff.
Right.
There's good ideas out here and all that, but not everybody's able to really execute. So I congratulate the three of you on executing. And so this is Jermaine's email address. If anybody wants to catch up with him and ask about his game, I saw it myself. The prototype was beautiful. When it's ready, I'm about the first one, brother. And I don't want it as a gift. I want to buy it from you. So you let me know. And also, Miss Anita, I'm gonna put your website up here. AngelWakana.com. That's their website. This is their phone number. They have my wife right now is doing one of Dr. Prince's detoxes. He talked about the body scan, and just before I came down here to talk to y'all, she was talking about the detox, and it's flushing her, and she's enjoying it. And it's not too uncomfortable, because we've done other detoxes, and she makes me do them every night. I'm not doing this one with her, but we've done others, and this one has been more pleasant than others that she's done. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to put your information up here, Michelle, and I see you added a phone number. So
Yes, I did. I added a text on there. So if they text that number, they're going to get instructions on how to begin the process, because we need to start now. You know, everybody needs money for their business and money for their organization, and we might as well use other people's money, right? So
Yep. So,
I also want to say, Dr. Boyce, that he needs a website. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be costly. It could be a landing page. And let me tell you, the importance of that, everybody's looking for a website. Every investor, even people that might want to just have an idea of what this game looks like. You know, they need the opportunity to go to that page, read about this important invention that you have. Maybe school districts might want to order right now, pre-order. You know, that could be a part of your manufacturing process, that you're open for pre-orders right now. People are taking pre-orders on books. Look, Anita Baker tickets are on sale now. The concert ain't till November of 2023.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the game right now. That's what they're doing. They're getting money right now so that they can go ahead and do everything else that they need to do down the road. And so I would be willing to help you. I know some people that can get you up and running real quick, inexpensively.
All right. Well, and if anybody's wondering how we all got to know each other, I want to thank all the three of you. You invested in us, so I wanted to invest in you, and so this is why we did this. I was sitting there. You all came to the convention. You were actually members of the President's Circle, and there's an investment to be part of that group. And I was talking to my team, and I said, "How can we help the people that are helping us?" That's how you do business. It's recursive. We support each other. So I listened to your stories, and you all were there. We were in a private meeting, and I gave you my 2 cents on what I was hearing. And I said, why don't we talk about some of this publicly? Why don't we just let the whole community know what you have going on? Because you all have solid businesses solving very important problems. And Michelle was right, Jermaine. I think that with your game, I think that it would be nothing but a thing to set up maybe a little Facebook page or something real basic, nothing you got to spend money on, and take some pictures of that thing, because that is beautiful. Maybe do some short, 30-second videos of yourself playing the game, get people excited about it, and maybe get them to follow you. And then when the game is ready, you'll have a bunch of people ready to buy. Like I said, I'll be the first one. And, and I'll share the videos for you since we're connected. You can just send it. You have a direct connect to my team. Send it to me. I will share that video for you. So that way you can create that anticipation and that demand in advance. And all these things play a part in business. And I want everybody to kind of take note. This is how you develop an economy. Every single person on this screen, I have interacted with them, done some sort of business with them. I have seen the results of what they do. I've been subtly throughout this conversation giving you my personal testimonials, which I don't give away easily. I got to see that what you're doing is good. There's a lot of there's some snakes out here, right? But we're not paying attention to the snake stuff. We're talking about the legitimate Black business owners, and so we got to support each other. Okay, so thank everybody for listening. I hope that this was a beneficial conversation for you, and all these business owners. Here's Michelle's information. Michelle Walker Davis. She's a grant writing consultant, and this is her information there if you're looking to get free money. TacklesLLC@gmail.com. That is Jermaine's business, where he's got an amazing game that blends chess and football in an extraordinary way. He's super passionate about it. That's another selling point that you have, Jermaine, is your energy. I picked up on your energy real fast.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. And then Miss Anita, her website is angelwakana.com, and that's her phone number. And let me tell you, my wife is using her detox and she loves it. So that's me saying that we did try it out, and everything is awesome. So thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. And this platform, it is for real, and it is changing lives.
It is.
So I thank you for that.
Can I just say one thing right quick? I want to say the next year event, please, everybody support the vendors that's there. All of them. If you can $5, because them vendors will tell you, they know me. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I love the energy. I love the experience. I love what you put together, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm behind you 100% on the purpose and the mission of the spirit of it. To get the physical.
And we're already registered for next year. We will be there next year.
For every vendor.
Well, I'll tell you, I love it. The convention's kind of becoming like a family reunion now.
It is.
Yeah. This will be our eighth one coming up, and I had to do it. I had to pursue it. I didn't know nothing about having conventions or anything. When we came with the idea, I had to do it because I felt like God stuck the idea in my brain during a nap. I woke up. I kid you not. I woke up and God said, "You need to have a convention. Call it the All Black National Convention." Because I didn't just want to call it the Black something, because it's kind of the term Black is kind of watered down a little bit, because we got some Black people that still are finding their way. Let's just say that. So I don't relate to all Black people. I ain't gonna lie. Some of that stuff that we've been trained to do is just not. I can't ethically
endorse it.
right. Some of it is like, I don't think I want all of that. But so I said, oh, all black. Okay, let's be all black. And
Yeah.
that means figuring out what being black means to us, not what we heard on TV, not what we were told in the public schools, not what somebody else, some political party told us. No. Let's talk to each other and figure out what being black means to us. And it means being healthy, it means being wealthy, it means being smart, it means being strategic, it means all these things.
Absolutely.
That's why I appreciate all of you. So thank you all for joining me again. It's wonderful to see you.
And thank you, Dr. Boyce. And I love it. Be one.
Be one. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you all for listening. Please, if you'd like to find information about the convention, actually, I believe you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. I think the tickets for next year are almost all completely sold out. But if you go to allblacknationalconvention.com, you can actually get your passes now for next year. And also there's information on my website, boycewatkins.com. So feel free to go there too. So everybody have a good night. And thank you all to the guests. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
All right, everybody. Good night. Thank you so much.